to the great. All righty. Okay. Well, again, thank you all for joining me this evening for this tech session as we enter our last week and certainly election day on next Tuesday. So I just wanted to cover some things. Um, what I've been doing each evening, well, not each evening, but I've gone through all of them. Anyway, but I go back through the bookings in Taxi Caller to just check and be sure that everything's set up correctly. And I've been spotting some things that I just wanted to talk to everyone about because on election day, we won't be able to check bookings as they go out. And if they go out incorrectly or with information in the wrong place, it can really affect the flow of the drivers. So I just wanted to walk through some things. Some of you may be having no problems with any of it, but I just thought we could do it as a group, walk through some things, and then you'll be able to share with your fellow volunteers some things we've discussed tonight. So, one of the things that I think I want to start with, though, is our call list. So we started with the previous riders, and the anticipation there was that, well, if they've if they booked with us in the past, they're likely to book with us in the future, and that holds true. That's a very robust list for the most part. Um, Again, not quite as robust as I wanted to see it the first round through. But what actually ended up happening was I put a caller on to call back the no answers and the left messages. And she reported that she's really had success in doing that. In fact, she booked 8 today. Uh, but I've really gotten some frustration out of volunteers with the new list that we're using, of the list of Black women 70 plus. And I made a mistake with that. At least I think I made a mistake based on what I've learned since. And I'm hoping we'll have an opportunity to test it. But when I was asked, did I want active voters or infrequent voters for our call out, I decided I wanted active voters. And I wanted active voters because I thought, well, if they, are in the habit of voting and they need a ride, then they're likely to be good bookings. But I've since learned that the more robust or potentially robust um, bookings could come from infrequent voters. Because what we found with the active voters is that when we call them, many already have a ride, have a ride. Many have already voted, and a lot are using the absentee mail-in ballots to vote. And so I thought, well, okay, if you are an active voter, maybe you have made arrangements by the time we call you, and you're not going to be as, we're not going to be as successful with that list as we might. Now, again, my thinking is that, well, the infrequent voters, they haven't voted, and the infrequent voters would be individuals who haven't voted or didn't vote in the 2025 election or the presidential election, either one or both. That would be our infrequent voter list. And I decided that we would get younger voters, 60 plus, rather than the 70 plus. But I'm thinking, well, are we going to have to persuade them to vote? And I've been advised that we don't do persuasion. We really just do mechanics. We're here to offer you a free ride. Would it help you if you had a ride to vote? And and just let them know that we have this service and we can assist them. And so if I get that list, then I'm hoping we can finish off the remainder of the week with it. I'm hoping to get it tomorrow, Wednesday at the latest, that we can finish off the rest of the early voting period and see how well that does for pre-bookings on election day. And then, of course, we will still continue to call out on election day, even though we're hoping to get more incoming calls, but there's still a space there. Of course, priority would be incoming calls. If it does turn out to be a pretty active day, then of course we would set aside the call outs to make sure that we're getting the incoming calls. The other adjustment that I've made, and I think I'll continue this on election day, is we had set up our call flow for Telsio for each person to receive a call one by one, so that Karen would receive a call, and then after she's received a call, the next call coming in would go to Roxanne or Diane or someone who hasn't gotten a call, gotten the last call. But instead of that, what we're going to go to is that everyone will get the call at once. And the reason for that is that when we go to the one by one calls, the phone just rings too long. And I'm concerned that the caller will hang up waiting for that pickup. And so if we go to everyone gets it at once setup, then it comes in quicker. And so then it's just a matter of, and of course, if you're on the phone, Karen, it's naturally going to go to someone who's not. But then whoever picks it up, picks it up. And then, and the reason I want you to know that is that when it drops off on your phone, you're not alarmed. You know that it wasn't a dropped call. You know that someone else picked it up. So that's how we're going to be doing that for the rest of this voting period and maybe going forward. Any questions about what I've just discussed or any comments? Okay, so I'm going to share my screen now, and we're going to begin working through Taxi Caller, and I'll discuss some of the things that I've been seeing and just to make this a
Hey,
little more
Norma.
efficient. Yes, Diane.
Okay, so after everything that you said, I'm going to tell you my issue was just that the caller list was not, I was not reaching anyone.
Yeah,
It was either no answer, no voicemail, wrong number, and I probably may have gotten during a 3 hour period, may have gotten maybe four contacts, but it wasn't really a contact, and I did not book anybody.
yeah, and I don't know if you heard our conversation, Diane. You may have dropped off at that time, but
Uh-huh.
we talked about the weakness in that list, and that
Hmm.
I am working on a new list that I'm hoping to get today or tomorrow that could be better. Now,
Okay.
again, I don't want to guarantee any of this,
Hmm.
but I've been told that maybe the profile of the voter on the list that we currently have, the profile of active voters, may be a weaker prospect than infrequent voters. So we're going to move from the active voter list to an infrequent voter list when that drops. Okay.
Okay. And then my other question is, when people get the call, what shows up on their caller ID? Do you know?
Souls to the polls. I can show you that.
Oh, you don't have to show me. I just want to know what shows up on the caller ID for if someone gets a call. Does it say souls to the poll or does it have just the number?
Yeah, no, it has souls to the polls. It's kind of all in
Okay.
small case. It's all kind of mushed there together.
Hmm.
But it does say souls to the polls.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Okay. Yes, okay. So, the taxi caller, and can everyone see that on your screen?
I can see
I,
it.
I'm going into taxi caller. You see it toggling there? Okay. I don't know why it keeps coming up with jobs overview instead of the map here. But do you see the map and the menu that we use to enter our data?
Yes.
Let me know if everyone sees that. Anyone
Yes.
doesn't see it? Okay, good. Okay, so I don't know that we have any that resemble, but let's walk through our list here. So you can see we can pull down the list. So I think I'll just show you one that works like we need it to. Okay. So first, the pickup address, generally the home address, but the pickup address is in this top area here, this top row. And it's also repeated in the bottom row. So it's the same address because we're picking them up. You know, it's not a taxi service where you're picking them up and taking them to another address. You're picking them up and returning them home. In the center here is where you enter your polling location. In this instance, you can see where they've got, and this is election day. So this is a polling site that's in the in the neighborhood where the voter lives. So this polling site is attached to their home, and it has the name of the polling site and the address. Now, the reason that's important is that if it just had the address and you picked them up at their home and you just had an address here, you're going into that area looking for that address. Sometimes it can be difficult to find addresses on, businesses or commercial spaces. So you could be riding around trying to find that specific address. But if you knew it was the senior center, the minute you got over in that area and you saw the senior center, even if you wanted to confirm the address, you would at least know it's the senior center. Let me go there. And once you went there, you'd probably see the voting signs anyway, which they have to have. But you would know that it's the senior center and you don't have to be just looking for an address. So that's why that's important. So if you think of, that you're out there driving, and we have drivers who are not from Milwaukee, so they don't really know the area all that well. Um, and so we want to help them out as much as we can by giving them both the name of the voting site and the address. Then, of course, here we're going to put the time that we need to pick the person up and and the date we're going to do that. We're going to put in their name and their phone number in the passenger area. But if we did not repeat this information down here in info all, the poll driver, for whatever reason, it's just the way this is set up, they won't see it. They don't have it until it's repeated here. And we want them to have both the name of the voter and the phone number, because ideally we will confirm with that voter before the driver goes to this home to pick them up. And then, of course, you're going to put book the thing, if you are entering this. Now, if this person says, well, I can't go this day, I got to cancel, I'm sick or whatever, Then if you scroll all the way down here to the bottom, you can see there's cancel job or delivered. So you can just hit the cancel job if the individual is not going at their scheduled time. And then, of course, as you know, you can click here and you can go up and see that information. Now, the other thing I want to say about these voting sites is the last thing you want to do, though, is put just the name of the voting site and not the address. So if for some reason you can't find the name of the site and the address, then the default is the address. But do not just put the name of the site, because again, the poll driver, probably even if they're from Milwaukee, may not know just where that is or what that is. So so that's important to not do that.
Norma, I have a question.
Yes.
So why do they have new job number one, new job number two? That was confusing to me because I don't know
Well, let me just say,
why is it there?
I'm not sure why they're there, but let me just say, Diane, this tool that we're using, this platform that we're using, is not meant for what we're doing.
Hmm.
This is meant for a taxi cab service.
Okay.
So there are features on here that might make sense to them where it doesn't make sense to us. The only thing that I can figure that this could make sense, maybe, is that if you're doing a couple at a time, or you're finishing
Mm.
up one and going to the other, or you finish this and you go, jump to the, I don't know. But I think the best answer is that it may not be a feature that we need, but it's a feature that came with the system, and it was something we couldn't, you know, change. But we took this taxi cab service platform and we tooled it so that it would work for us as our booking and dispatch system, because we didn't have one before we found this. And there would be no way we could, the expense of building one for us that would be strictly a voting platform, was something that we certainly could not afford to do. So
Okay.
that's,
Oh, Norma, I have another question. If I'm scheduled and I get a call that comes in and they want to cancel, can you show us how to do that? Because I'm not
yes,
sure how to pull that up.
right. Well, like I said, here, when you can pull it up. So you pull up any one of these,
Okay, you have
you
to
pull
look
it
for.
up, and
Mhm.
then you scroll down here using this on the side, scroll down all the way down. And at
Okay,
the very bottom, when you've gone as far as you can go, it's got cancel job
okay.
and delivered.
So
And
we
you
have to
just
look
hit,
under the jobs overview tab.
pardon?
We have to go to the jobs overview tab to find that person
Yeah,
and
you go in and find the
booking.
person. So you ask them, you probably want to get the date and time that they're scheduled if they know it, or at least one of the other, so you can get close to it. And then when you go here, you can see the name.
Oh,
So, once the individual gives you their name, you can see the name in this column. And
okay,
then once you find them, you just pull that up, click on
got it.
it. And so here you can go
Yeah,
through and
and cancel.
cancel it.
Got it.
Okay. The other thing I want to say that, particularly on election day, well, even during early voting as you're finishing up, it would really be helpful if when you're booking, and it's not going to be a huge issue, but it sometimes can be an issue. But it would be helpful when they you ask them, when do you want to go? And they say, well, I want to go on Friday, the 3rd, that you go to that date and just kind of look at what the schedule looks like in terms of if that date, as an example, let's see here. It takes about an hour for a pole driver to finish up a ride. And so if you had a lot of tens, just say you had, 4 or 5 or 6 10 o'clocks all stacked up here, that may be problematic. So if you're booking a ride and you see a lot of, rides at one particular time, then try to find a area on the schedule where it's less populated. Does that make sense? Just to kind of look here and see what it looks like and try to schedule so it's less populated. And that way, oh, see, we've got an 8 o'clock here. That's the other thing. We've got an 8 o'clock. I'm going to check this because I'm not aware that there's a site that they open that early. So I don't know, maybe the Center Street Library does have, can someone check that? Do you have your Google? Okay,
I can check it. I can check it. Give me a few
yeah,
minutes.
because if
here.
it's not, then we're going to need to, and that's
What's
the other thing that, yeah,
what's the name of it? Center Street Library.
Center Street Library.
And what can
And oh, you
you
know
see the
what?
zip code for
Hey,
that?
hey, you know what? The Center Street Library doesn't even have an early vote site. So you can see
Oh,
this is a mistake here. This person actually may want to go on election day at 8 o'clock, which they could at the Center
mhm.
Street Library.
Yeah, it says March
But
31st.
so I'm going to have to call them now and find out, were they planning to go on election day? Is that what their plan is? And we just got them in the wrong date? Or do they want to go on the 31st, which is actually tomorrow? And we need to put them in both a time that they can go and at a location at one of the early vote sites. You want to call them, Roxanne, for me while we're on? Just
Yeah,
mute,
yeah, let me
see
look
if
and
you can
see what
yeah,
their name.
just mute and see if you can
Carol, right? Is that it?
yeah,
Carol.
Emma Lawrence.
Cool. Oh, I see. I'm looking at a different one here. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, Emma. All right.
okay. And that's
I'll,
edit jobs.
I'll
So
mute
while
myself.
she's looking at that, I can switch away from that, right? And go into the new jobs and I'll get yeah. And so I do want to go to this to just walk through this again. And the reason that I'm going to do this is because, and I think I've indicated to you, it can be tricky to get in that name of that site and the address. So we're going to just pull that up here. And let's see, Good Hope Library. Okay, Good Hope Library. It came up with both, but frequently it only comes up with one. Okay, let's go to Tippecanoe. Okay, it's got both. I'm wondering if it's better in the evening when it's not busy. What is another vote site? Zeidler. Zeidler Municipal. So it comes up. So you can see here, it's got Frank P. Zeidler Municipal Building. But if I click on that, it doesn't have the address here. It's just got North Broadway. So to get the correct address, I know that it's 840. So I put in 840. I hit 841 and I click again and I get the 841 and the name of the building. So as you're looking at your early vote site, if it pulls up where it's just the name of the voting site and the address and the street rather than the address and street, then just start putting in the address and both will come up. See how that worked? Cathedral. And then, I'd explained earlier, and I won't pull it up now, but when you're using My Vote to schedule for election day, in the My Vote, when you put in the address, you see the full name of the voting site and the address. And it really does help to just copy that, to do a Control-C to copy it and come back here, a Control-V to enter it, because that way you're entering both address and the name of the voting site. And that would usually bring up the address, the name of the voting site and the address. So that makes it easier. With the early vote sites, it's, you don't have the same situation because you can't really copy from that PDF file. But so you have to enter it. But Cathedral Square. Cathedral Square. No, what's that name? Cathedral Hall. Cathedral Hall. That's not coming in. So that's that's not an early vote site, that's a regular vote site. But again, it has the complete information in that My Vote. And so if you use that, that should work. Now, Midtown or Midwest Voting Center, the Midwest Voting Center. Okay, when I put in Midwest Voting Center, and this thing again, it sometimes if you put in Midwest Voting Center, that's the site over in the Midwest Mall there. Sometimes it'll come up completely, but here it has no results. So the address, I think, was like 4071, something like that. North. Was it 41?
I think it's in the 5000s.
Yeah, I know it's 56th Street, but what is the does anyone remember the address? Is it 41? Maybe 4170. Let's see that.
Is it Midwest or Midtown?
Huh?
Is it Midwest or Midtown?
Maybe. Okay, here's 4170. So let's see if it's maybe it is Midtown. Was that it? Midtown. Yeah, Midtown. Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
So
Okay.
Midtown Voting Center 40. So then both comes up there. So as I said, it can be a little tricky to do this, but if you take the extra time, it is going to make it so much easier and efficient for the poll driver when we send out that information.
So, Norma, our senior centers have early voting. One of the senior centers is on Valete, and it's
Washington Park.
Washington Park. When you type that in, does that pop up?
Yeah, there you go. Washington Park Senior Center. And it pops up. And here
Where's the
you can only
address?
see the name of the center. So if you scroll down, then you can see
There
that
you
it's
go.
got the complete address.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Mhm.
So any questions about anything I've covered with respect to this process? Okay. So only one other thing I want to cover tonight regards the Telsio set up here. Let's find Telsio. Where to go? Okay. All right. For some reason, let me get this out of the way. Yeah, to go back and get it. Okay, so on the your dashboard page, which looks a little bit different on yours than it does on mine, but I think you all have my task, right? Do you have my task on your front of your dashboard for Telsio? I believe you should have my task, and over to the right beneath your name should be, well, I'm told it is my cues on everyone's, but some people have not been able to find their my cues, and yet they've been okay. So anyway, let me go through this. If you have the my cues in this space here, the blue, then you want to, again, set it on the green and the white. But you also want to scroll down, and I understand it's in the center here. Mine are on the side, and there are a lot of names here, but you want to scroll down your list and find your name to see if your name has a blue or a green, I think it's green, a green dot next to your name. Because when you have that, what will come up here for me is you will look like this: available, availability on. Here she's offline, which means that, or any of these people that are all offline, um, have not just not opened theirs, but they haven't opened and set themselves as available with either the my cues or by seeing that green dot. So if you are on and I don't see you showing up here, then I'll reach out and just ask if you've got yourself set up, because I can see whether or not you are set up, in this area. And then, of course, I have to do a couple of other things too, to make sure that you're available. So again, if you're not available, but you tell me, well, I got my cues set up and I've got everything, that I'm supposed to do, then I have to say, well, Norma, did you check to be sure they're in the call flow? They're in the queue in the call flow, that sort of thing. And so I try to do that the night before, so that when people come in, I'm not at the last minute trying to get them on. But I could miss someone. And if I do that, then I can see that you're not on. I can also see that you're calling or you're getting calls and you're talking or that sort of thing. So we can see what the activity does look like, to know that you're all set up. And then I can just call you on your line to talk through it, if something isn't working. But yeah, so if you can just remember to check, and if you don't see the my cues, but you see your name with the green dot, then we're still okay. But if you don't see the my cues, you have the green dot. I see you on the thing here, and you're not getting any calls on an active day. Now, if you're not getting calls during the early vote, that's normal. But and we do get calls. I mean, we just don't get many. but we do get calls. So we could be getting a few calls, but but as I said, what's going to happen now going forward is everyone will receive that call at the same time. It's just whoever picks up first will connect with that caller. I've covered what I've needed to cover, I believe. But if you've got any questions or anything that's concerned you throughout the process, I guess the final thing that I will say is that what I'm going to be doing also, in addition to this new list that I'm hoping I get, in addition to that, we want to go back through our April list, our April 26th past writer list. Dave, are you still on? Dave might have left us. He was on the. Have I lost folks? Okay. Yeah, I don't see Dave. He was on before. But I had someone that's been working on that April list, going back and calling the no answer and left voicemail message. And she has had real success with that. In fact, she booked 8 today from that list. But she usually books 5 or 6 a day, going back through and just calling the individuals who didn't answer the first time through. So we have quite a few to finish up to get through that list again. And so as you come on, I'll probably be assigning people to that list as well, to see if we can go back and catch some of those people we missed to get them signed up. So that'll be kind of one of the changes going forward. But if there are no other questions and no comments, thank you all again for coming tonight. I do appreciate it. I recorded it, so I will be sending this out to everyone. So just ignore it if you get it. You don't need it, but I'll be trying to get it out to other people. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
All
Good
right, thank
evening.
you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you so much.